I've worked with students for over a decade, for a very long time, from elementary all the way to college. And one of the questions I'm always asking myself is why aren't more students taking advantage of opportunities like scholarships, internships, and all of the other leadership type programs that exist? And the truth is, there's more than one answer. There isn't just one thing, but multiple things that stop students from taking advantage of everything that exists. But then on the opposite end of that, you will always find students who take advantage of everything. Like they go all in. And then it's amazing to see all of the benefits that come from that. And my hope is that those students will be an inspiration to the other students who are not taking advantage simply because of fear, lack of time management, not feeling like they're worthy. And so our guest today is Esron Holder, who is a 20-year-old student at Rutgers University. He is majoring in leadership and management with a minor in social justice. And Esron is that student who really went in on all of the opportunities, from networking to building relationships to applying for scholarships. And when you hear his story, it really is an inspiration and also a reminder that there are endless opportunities out there, but we got to put in the work if we want to see the benefits. So, welcome to the Scholar Budget Podcast, where we help students like you to earn a debt-free degree and navigate finances. Let's jump right in. You're listening to the Scholar Budget Podcast, where we teach you how to earn a debt-free degree, grow your money, and claim every opportunity with your name on it. I'm your host, Raquel Bartoli. Let's jump right in. Hello, Esron. Welcome to the show. How are you doing today?
Hello, Ms. Raquel. How are you doing? I'm doing honestly amazing. I'm excited to be here.
Awesome. I'm doing well. Thank you. I'm really excited and grateful that you decided to bless us with your presence on the podcast because, listen, you are literally living proof that when students put in the work, they are able to reap those benefits. So, Azron, we got to give the listeners everything, like hold nothing back, because I know you put in the work. So can you tell us a little bit more about who you are and your college journey so far?
Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here. So I am Esron Holder. I am 20 years old. I'm a sophomore at Rutgers University, Newark, majoring in leadership and management with a minor in social justice. My college journey was exciting journey, but at the same time, I would say it was sacrifice because there's a lot of things I had to sacrifice in order to get to where I am right now in college. And to kind of like document that journey, I went to two different high schools. So I transferred from my first high school in the middle of my sophomore year. Because originally I thought that I was gonna finish high school in New York and then go to a college in New York, but God had other plans for me, so that didn't happen. So I moved to New Jersey and started attending school in New Jersey. And then the pandemic hit
Wow.
about I think two or one of a either 2 months or 1.5 months. I don't exactly remember the timeline, but it was a very interesting experience because just being a new kid in school was very just awkward and everything.
Yeah.
And now you're stuck at home for a good year and a half. And going into my junior year, I had the mindset of just making sure I take advantage of any opportunity to either help pay off for college or just help me with this whole college process. Luckily, I come from a family that's very college orientated. All of my siblings have been to college, so I had different resources around me in order to help. But I wanted
Good.
to kind of like be a lone wolf and kind of like do everything on my own. So as much as I could have reached out to my siblings and asked them different questions, I kind of just wanted to do everything on my own, and that's exactly what I did.
Okay.
Um, so I applied to different programs. I applied to this program called Questbridge, which is a scholarship program. Then I applied to another program called Cooperman. I got denied from Questbridge, but I got accepted into Cooperman. The good thing about the program Cooperman, it's not just a scholarship-based program. They actually give you mentoring and guidance. So this ending so that summer ending of my junior year, I did a 3-week summer program with Cooperman, and
Mm-hmm.
we worked on our resume, we worked on our personal, not our resume, we worked on our personal statement, we worked on our college list, rank and everything. I'm talking about the advantages, disadvantages to those colleges. What do you like the most? What do you dislike? Um, and then we did SAT prep at the ending of August, and then we started our senior year. The amazing thing with the program Cooperman is that they made us so prepared that all our applications then were finished by the ending of October.
Oh,
So
wow.
after October, we were just focusing on getting these acceptance letter, understanding how much money these colleges are giving you, understand if you need to take out a loan and everything. And I already knew in my mind said I'm not taking out any loans. And I ended up getting accepted into over
Wow.
eight colleges. Thank you. And
Yeah.
I had over I think $1 million in scholarships from those
What?
8 different colleges. So if you did it by the 4 year mark, from each one of the scholarships that I received, I had over $1 million in scholarship money from those 8 different universities, and two of those are full ride scholarships. One from the College of New Jersey, and the second from Rutgers University, Newark.
Wow.
Um, so I had to make that decision. Do I want to go to TCNJ and be an hour, 2 hours away from my family, or do I want to go to Rutgers Newark, where I'm a 15-minute drive, 30 minutes on the bus, and I get to live on campus and it's all paid for, and I end up
Wow.
going with Rutgers University Newark. Um, after my graduation, I had to do this program called EOF, which is the Education Opportunity Fund, which is a early college program. Which going into your freshman year of college, they do a summer program where you take college courses and you actually earn credit and you get to be on campus, experience campus, and actually talk with professors and get that one-on-one college experience with not only your classmate but a professor that
Like mentorship.
yeah, mentorship that gave me that early advantage going into my freshman year because I already knew where the buildings was, I already knew how to email professors, I already knew how to go to office hours. These are different things that you'll learn within that first semester. I already had knowledge of in my first semester, and I think yeah, that's kind of been the journey so far.
I love it. Like, that's a lot. And I'm pretty sure it has positioned you to where you are now. And friend, you just said like a million in like that is, it's so possible, right? We say it and I hear it and I know it's possible, but still like there's so many students who think they are like, outside of that possibility. And so you had to make quite a few sacrifices, I can only imagine, to position yourself to be a student who's getting a full ride. Can you just give us like two or three of the major sacrifices you made to be where you are right now?
I would say time
Time.
and freedom. I would say not freedom. Time. Okay, time
Okay.
and okay, I'll say for the first one, I'll say time and commitments. Yeah, I'll
Mm,
use those two, time and commitment. And by time, I mean the summer ending of my junior year and the summer ending of my senior year with both college preparations. So I didn't exactly have that entire summer to myself.
right.
The summer of my junior year, of the end of my junior year, I did a 3 week program with Cooperman, where, as I mentioned before, we did all those things to prepare for college. I was Monday through Friday from 9 to 4 online. And I don't know too many people who would sacrifice that amount of time during the summer.
Right.
You could be outside with family. This was Monday through Friday. So from
Mm,
Monday through Friday from 9 to 4, I couldn't do anything that wasn't related to that. And we had limited absences, so it's not like I can, not show up and things like that. They'll kick me out of that program. So I had to
right.
be there every single day for those days. So it's the weekends was the majority of days that I was able to do different things. And that summer was basically that. And then we had the SAT prep that started August. So between the time of the ending of that program and SAT prep was also college preparation again, because you're doing more research in these different colleges and you're switching the ranks within your list. And this is number one, this is number two, and you're also looking at different scholarships and applying for scholarships. So I don't really consider that summer an actual summer because
Right.
it was college preparation. And then the same thing the following summer when I finished my senior year. I graduated that Friday. That Saturday, I had to do a retreat program, or the retreat for the EOF program. And that Sunday, I had to do a makeup orientation because I missed orientation because I had graduation that Friday. And then the
Okay.
program started that Monday. So I didn't have break from the time I graduated high school to the time I started that program because Friday graduation, Saturday the retreat, Sunday makeup orientation, Monday the program starts. That program ended in the beginning of August. And then I had another program to do that same month. I had
Gee,
another program to do that same month, which which was also a really good program because with being a part of the business school, we met a lot of the different people that are partner with the Rutgers Business School, and we learned how to network with them, how to create our LinkedIn, and these different things. So those 2 summers are just basically college preparation. So I had to sacrifice time.
and a
And
commitment.
the reason why I also say commitment is because I couldn't do too many things.
Right. So you
Wow.
had to like stick to this because you knew that if I don't follow through, if I don't show up, then I'm not going to get what I want. And so even like with this podcast, the goal again is to help students to get as close to a debt-free degree, but sometimes I don't think they realize that that requires some kind of sacrifice. And the thing about sacrifice, especially with the scholarship game, you don't have to sacrifice forever. It's kind of realizing, like you, this is my goal, this is the time frame that I have to make the sacrifice, and now I have to commit to that sacrifice if I want to see the benefits. So Ezra, kudos to you because, friend, you did it, and you are living proof, and you're a real life human being that it is possible when students commit and make that sacrifice. So I do want to ask you, Ezron, when you were thinking about going to college, because I know you mentioned you have siblings that attended college as well, was there money already set aside for you to pay for college?
Yes. So luckily, my mom already had an account open for me, and there was
Perfect.
money inside of that account. Luckily, we actually didn't end up using the money because of the full ride, but there were money set aside for my college education.
Awesome. Do you think that was going to cover everything, or would you still have needed scholarship money to earn a debt-free degree?
I would have still need that scholarship money to earn a degree degree.
Yeah, because college is expensive. So shout out to moms and the family for having some money aside. But even when you have some money, unless you're like balling out, like you still got to come up with the rest of it. And Ezra, what did you apply for any additional scholarships in addition to the full ride, or did the full ride plus what your family had set aside, did that cover, is that covering everything for you?
So actually, yes, I actually did apply to separate scholarship. So how my full ride, I can actually break down to you how the full ride actually explains it. So on my campus, I'm a part of this program called the Honors Learning Community, which is a program where we take college courses. So there's also another level of a commitment because they're paying for my housing and they're paying for my meal plan.
That's nice.
Which housing and meal plan is covered through them. And you have your requirements and your different things that you need to meet each year in order to continue to get that scholarship. And then we have Rutgers that actually pays. So the other half of that, Rutgers pays, Cooperman pays, and then I have 2 outside scholarship that also covers
Wonderful.
the rest of that money. So I have an alumni scholarship, which is it was 2,000 the first year, and then it increases by 500 per year,
Nice.
which I got very blessed with that scholarship because it increases every year. Then I have this David Shoes scholarship, which is a book scholarship. With each semester, I get money added to it, money for books, and then also Koopman also provides that too. Koopman is like 500 a year, and then
Nice.
David Shoes there I think 375 a semester. So I have so I don't know exactly the math with the money, but I have a significant amount of money that I can use towards book. The good thing with the money from David Shoes is that if I don't end up needing that money for book, whatever other college expenses I have, I can use that money towards it, so that money's not really restricted.
Beautiful.
So we have the Koopman scholarship, we have my HLC scholarship, my alumni scholarship, my David Shoes scholarship, and then we have Rutgers. So out of all 5 of those different resources is how I'm able to pay my college tuition.
Wow, just like stacking them, just this one plus a little bit of this one, and you put all that together and you're positioned to succeed, to do well, to get mentorship. And shout out to Rutgers for having all of these amazing resources and alumni and scholarship opportunities that students like you can take advantage of. And let me ask, do you still currently apply for scholarships? Like physically doing applications right now, or where are you with that process?
I don't actively apply for scholarship, but
Right.
once I see any that grabs my attention, I actually do it. The most interesting thing is that spring semester of my freshman year, out of nowhere, I got an email saying that it was a scholarship that I got, which it confuses me because I'm like I didn't apply for anything because I saw that there was money I got an email from my school saying there was some money coming in, and I'm just like, I already know I already got my refund check for the semester, so I was very confused. And I got an email from dean from one of the programs I'm a part of, and it explains everything. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
that makes sense. So that was one of those scholarships that I didn't even apply to. It's because of my relationship I had with Dean Brown, um, from the B Star program. He saw there was a scholarship opportunity, and he was like, I want this student to get it, so I was able to receive that money, so which was really good. Um,
Wow.
the summer going into my sophomore year, my mentor for my internship sent me a bunch of scholarships to apply to, and I applied to one of them and actually got accepted to it. And they were also able. That's an additional set of money that goes towards my college. So out of
Man,
the two that I've gotten so far that it's not already out of the five that I mentioned. One got given to me because of the relationship I had with the dean, and then the second I applied to through my mentor for my internship.
wonderful. And what it sounds like to me is being a part of various programs helps to kind of open doors to additional opportunities like the mentorship that you mentioned, getting yourself academically prepared for college. And now people being able to co sign and say, listen, Ezron, I want to throw his name in the hat as a student who should be able to get this scholarship. Um, do you agree with that? What are your thoughts on that? How has that been for you?
I will always tell everybody this statement: your network is your net worth.
Right.
The reason why I say that is because my college experience would have not have been the way it is right now if it wasn't for the people that I have around me and a lot of relationships that I built. Like with my
Mm,
internship, one of my friends vouched for me to get my internship. And if I didn't have that relationship with her, I think when they were going through that process, I don't even think I would have gotten the internship. Uh,
right.
with me getting that scholarship, because of my relationship with Dean Brown, he recommended that scholarship. With
Yeah.
me doing the internship and having an assigned mentor is how my mentor knew to, okay, there's a scholarship opportunity, let me pass along to Esron. There's so many, there's I think at least 100 of examples I've been giving to you so far within my year and a half of college, to where the relationship I've had with people creates different opportunity. And sometimes it don't even have to be anything to that big to where you're getting a paid internship or you're getting a scholarship. It could be to where somebody know your different talents and stuff, and they connect you to somebody to that talent. I have a friend, Josh Nully, that she introduced me to so many people, which we became friends very randomly. I remember we actually met in our laundry room within my building, and I didn't think that it was going to come out of that conversation and everything, but it did. She was a senior at that time, so she ended up started taking me to events and actually introducing me. So she took me as a freshman underneath her wing and was introducing me to people, taking me to events, vouched for me for my internship, and I made sure I returned that same love. That when
Mm,
graduation came around, I attended graduation in support to her. I attended her graduation party in support of her, and
I
me and
love
her
that.
still got that really good relationship to this day. So it's not only taking advantage of the different resources and relationship around you, but making sure that you also put in that same effort, because
Mm,
people can't continue to give you opportunities or do stuff and you don't do nothing. In the case of Josh Nelly, it's like she continued to do that, and then I'm not doing nothing. I know she's not expecting anything out of me, but it looks bad on my part
right.
because she's going out her way to do something for you, and then you're not doing something back. So I made sure and I let her know. I was like, you have my support for life because
Yeah.
of what you did. Because to have normally seniors do not take freshmen underneath their wing in college. That's not something that normally happens in college. Usually you got to get connected through somebody,
Mhm.
something like that. That was a relationship that formed accidentally that really ended up being beneficial towards both of us. So it's not only taking advantage of the resources around you, but making sure that you also are giving that same energy in the sense.
Yeah. So your network equals your net worth, and relationships matter. So I hope our listeners, our students are hearing that. Especially for those of us who may consider ourselves to be introverts, or we're shy, or we're quiet. Like you're leaving money on the table, you're leaving opportunities on the table, you're leaving an opportunity to show gratitude and show love to others, and support each other, because we all go through various times and trials and tribulations in our life, and we can be so much to other people. Like you showing up and being there at her graduation made a difference, like, because here she is pouring into Esron, and Esron's like rooting for her. So I hope scholars are listening to this and taking advantage of networking and building those opportunities, because it will equate to something. And like Esron said, don't forget to circle back around and show gratitude, which can be as simple as a card, an email, a phone call, a text, showing up, being there. So Ezron, thank you for being very honest about that, because those doors open for you are through relationships. So that's wonderful. And Ezron, I want to ask you, like, for our seniors who are listening to this right now, or any student, right? What would you say are like the top 3 things that they can do once they've been accepted to college? Like, many students have just gotten their acceptances. They just heard back. They're just like, excited. What are like the top 3 things you suggest that they can do to help them transition, and even maybe to secure some additional money? What's your thoughts on that?
I would say number one, reach out to the admissions counselor. Reach out to them and try to schedule a meeting. This was something I did, which I forgot to mention that early on, but I actually did that. So with a couple of the colleges that I applied to, I actually reached out to the admission counselor, and I did meetings with them where I asked them different questions about the college and everything. And you can still do that after you get accepted, because especially that way you could get a better sense of information from these colleges. And some of the admission counsel would be actually they'll be very honest with you. I remember one of the admission counselors that I spoke to about a college, I remember asking a question, and then instead of her giving me a sugarcoat answer, she gave me a very honest answer and stuff, and that played with my decision to not wanting to go to that college, which obviously would not be such a good thing on the college part, but it was a good thing on my part, because it's like
Right.
that's I wouldn't want to be in that type of environment and everything, because it was a college in the middle of nowhere. There wasn't too many black people over there and everything. And I asked a question and relating to that, I was like, yeah, I'd rather go to a college where I don't have to experience those level of things.
Right. Need some
So
diversity in your
yeah,
life.
I need some diversity in my life. I don't want to go to the PWI. No
Right.
offense to PWIs, but I'm okay.
No, that's okay.
Also reach out to admissions counselors. Come up with a list of questions and ask questions. And if you actually end up do get accepted to that college, you will eventually see that person around campus, and that right there can already start forming a connection, because that
Wonderful.
person remembers like, "Oh, this is the person that reached out to me and scheduled a meeting and stuff." And there's so many, how many opportunities you can get out of that, because the mission councils are very well connected on campus.
Mm,
They know a lot of people and different organizations and stuff.
very true.
Um, the second thing I would say is to start looking at programs at some of these colleges. Some of these programs, like the EOF program for students that go to New Jersey, um, these programs you can get accepted into these, or different other programs that may do some early college prep. Look into those and see if you can get into any one of them, because it'll be really helpful. Yes, you're gonna have to sacrifice, that summer and everything, but it's gonna be worth it overall. And then my third thing would be, never stop applying for scholarships. Never stop
Hmm.
applying for scholarships. Continue to look at different website where you're looking through the scholarship budget podcast, or you're looking from different other things. My entire senior year of high school, I was applying to scholarships after scholarships after scholarship. I did not get accepted until a lot of them, but hey, my 5 scholarships do me justice right now, so I'm very much okay. And also, don't be afraid to apply for scholarships, because um,
Hmm.
one interesting thing that happened to me during the senior year is that my David Shoe scholarship, I was actually technically forced to apply to that, because I kept seeing it and I kept ignoring it. Like I purposely was not applying. I was like, I don't want to apply to that. I don't want to apply to that. And I remember a guidance counselor actually called me down to our office, big shout out to Miss Kitchen. Miss Kitchen called me down to her office and she was like, Esron, apply to this. Mind you, me and Miss Kitchen didn't have any type of relationship or anything. Like, I didn't know Miss Kitchen already. My the guys counselor, Miss Lewis, we were very much well intact and everything. So I knew if Miss Lewis called me, I was gonna do it. But me and Miss Kitchen, I was aware who Miss Kitchen was, but I don't think I've ever had a conversation. There was also a surprise on my end because I'm just like, I don't really know Miss Kitchen like that. But I could tell that she was serious, and I applied to it, and that became so beneficial to me, not even just for the money, but for the relationships that I've gotten through that program because it's a scholarship for men, for young men, because they're all about advocating for young men to be better in society and being
Mm.
graduates and stuff. So that's where our big scholarship comes intact, and the
And were
relationship.
you afraid to apply for the scholarship? Is that why you were hesitant to apply?
No, I just didn't want to apply.
You just
Like
didn't want to
before
apply?
I just didn't want to apply it because I forgot what the actual process was, but there was something about it that I was like, I'm good. I didn't
Right.
I didn't want to apply. And actually, the same thing, the same thing with my HLC scholarship. Didn't want
Oh,
to apply to that either.
all those
Actually, let
opportunities
me
you could have
actually,
missed.
yes, actually, let me mention this right now since I'm actually mentioning that. So, both that David Shoe scholarship didn't want to apply to that, and because of Miss Kitchen, I applied to it, got into it. The experience has been really good so far, so I thank Miss Kitchen for that. With the HLC scholarship, there was a three-step process to get into the program. You had to do a group interview, an individual interview, and an essay. And
Oh,
the group
wow.
interview was 3 hours, and that's why I didn't want to apply because the
3 hours.
3 hours group interview, and
Whoa.
that's exactly why I didn't want to apply because I'm like, I'm not sitting in front of my computer 3 hours just for a program. And again, and somebody forced me to do it. I was in my AP statistics class, and my teacher, Miss Cox, she was like, "Esron, just go to it and everything." I went to it, best decision I've ever made.
Look at
So
that.
please do not do what I almost did because both Davis Shoes and HLC having a huge impact on my college experience so far and that journey with not only my business and stuff because through the program David Shoes, I was able to do a lot of work for them. So they was able to help put money in my pocket for my business. With HLC, I was able to meet a lot of these people like Josh Nelly. That relationship, I met her because of that program, because we were both in that program and everything. So my college experience would be completely different without these two programs. So please do not have that mindset that I had of, okay, this may be too long, this may be too hard and everything like that. It's going to be worth it long term. Because
Right.
yes, sitting for that 3 hour interview, because it was the group interview was 3 hours. I think the individual was an hour, 2 hours. I don't remember exactly, but there was at least 5 to 4 hours invested just to get into that program, and that may sound crazy, but then when you look at the benefits that I've gotten out of the
Yeah, it
program,
outweighs it for
it
sure.
outweighs it. So please do not do what I almost did. That's
I love
that's
it.
that's the major advice. That don't do that
So
because
it sounds like what you're saying is you got to push through the feelings. Sometimes feelings will mess you up, man. It'll really mess you up because you're like, I don't feel like doing this, or and that's how scholarships can weed out students that qualify. And it's not because you have to be the perfect GPA, but are you the student that's willing to do the essay, upload the picture, do the video? Are you willing to do all the things? And I think sometimes students feel like there's so much competition when in reality there's a lot of students not getting the scholarships, not getting the internships, not getting the opportunities simply because they are too hung up on feelings. I don't feel like doing it. I don't feel like doing it. And then what happens? They miss out on opportunities. So Ezron, I am so glad you didn't stay connected to those feelings and you had people that pushed you. So kudos to those teachers and those counselors that pushed you even when you didn't want to do it, and you did it because here you are reaping the benefits. And again, I'm so glad I was able to connect with you because you are living proof of what is possible. You don't have to be a perfect student. You don't have to be like all the things that sometimes students kind of create in their head. I feel like you just have to want it, be consistent, talk about that time management, and just keep going for it because you're probably going to get a couple no's when it comes to scholarships before you get the yes. But if you stop, then you don't get the benefit. So Ezron, as we get ready to close out, you've dropped a lot of nuggets on what's possible when students put in the work and they are consistent. And I know your grades and everything you've done in high school has supported you through your journey, and you're going to continue to do awesome and amazing things. Is there anything else you'd like to share with our listeners before we close out?
Yes, I would say be yourself. College is an environment where you're going to meet so many different people from so many different backgrounds and everything. And you want to be able to stand out. You want to be able to be easily noticeable, especially in classes and stuff. Like professors are teaching hundreds of students and everything like that. And sometimes if you don't even make that effort to reach out to them and everything like that, they're not going to remember you. So be yourself at all times and everything. Also make sure that you're keeping yourself accountable and everything because we're not perfect and stuff. So make sure that you're continuously working on yourself as an individual, physically, mentally, emotionally. Pay attention to your mental health in college because college can definitely weigh a lot in your mental health. I've already went through that experience
Hmm.
so far. Make sure you pay attention to your mental health. Give yourself breaks. Learn how to time management and everything. Because college is one of those places where you miss a week of classes is like missing a month in high school.
Oh,
It is
yeah.
very much not one of those places you want to be inconsistent and stuff. Because some professors are lenient, but some professors are not.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause you can do really, really, because some professors you can do really bad and everything, and continue to do bad, and they'll just left alone. Or you can have those professors where you're doing bad, but then you go into office hours. You're going to tutoring and everything like that, and those can help you because some of those professors, they may, if you don't do so good in that finals, they may come through for you at the
Right.
end. So
Effort
make sure
matters.
that you build relationships with your professors. Make sure that they know your name. And that will stand out because you can continue those relationships. Because if you need a letter of recommendation for an internship or a program, they're write it to you. Pay attention to your mental health, as I mentioned before. Be yourself, and biggest thing I would say overall, you do not know everything. You're never going to know everything, and make sure that you seek help at all time. College is also one of those places where people are not going to be reaching out to you and asking if you need help, if you understand this or you understand that. They're not going to do that. Professors are not going to do that. They have
Right.
way too much on their plate to make sure that you understand something. But if you go to them after class and say, "Okay, I didn't understand that math concept. Can you explain this accounting equation to me?" They will give you that time for this year for my manager accounting class. I was in that lady's office hours basically every week
You got
because
to advocate for yourself.
you
It's
gotta
so
advocate for
important.
yourself.
Absolutely. Well, Ezron, listen, we are grateful to have you. You are a bright, shining star, and we look forward to all of the amazing things that you're going to do in the future. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much, and I'm really happy to be here. And good luck in college, everyone.
All right. Hey there. I hope you were taking notes and you're ready to implement what you heard. If this podcast inspired you or helped you in any way, I would love for you to subscribe, follow, and share this with a student, parent, or educator you care about because sharing is caring. Also, your feedback means a lot. So please leave a written review of this show on Apple Podcasts. And if you ever want to connect outside of the podcast, you can find us at The Scholar Budget on Insta or the Book of Faces. So until next time, shine bright and put in the work so we can make those dreams a reality. Bye!